Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL offseason is never truly quiet, especially when it comes to a team like the Atlanta Falcons, a franchise that's been building towards something special for a few seasons now. And this year, the offseason has already thrown a few curveballs, particularly with their roster moves, which have left many fans curious and eager to understand what the front office is planning for the upcoming season. Recently, the Falcons made the tough decision to release 12 players after the conclusion of their preseason, including a name that caught some attention: Canadian tight end Nikola Kalinick. Now, why would a team cut a player who's been working hard in training camp and preseason? Well, that's where things get interesting, and I want to break it all down for you. Nikola Kalinick, a 6'4", 248-pound tight end from Toronto, Ontario, came into the NFL with a lot of potential. He first signed with the Atlanta Falcons as a free agent back in January, which shows that the team saw some promise in him. But as we all know, roster cuts are part of the game, especially when teams are trying to trim down to the 53-man limit. Kalinick's journey in the NFL is quite a story. Before coming to Atlanta, he was with the Los Angeles Rams, spending most of the past 2 seasons on their practice squad. He did manage to get some game action in 2024, dressing for 2 games and playing a total of 28 snaps on special teams. That's not a huge sample size, but it's enough to see some of his capabilities on the field. Kalinick's NFL debut was with the Indianapolis Colts in 2022, where he dressed for 7 games and even made 2 starts. He played 47 snaps on offense and 42 on special teams, which shows that the coaching staff was trying to integrate him into their game plans. He also returned a kickoff for 15 yards, a small but notable contribution. His stats in college were quite impressive, especially considering his position. At York University, he played 31 collegiate games, making 38 receptions for 416 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a solid production, especially for someone coming from Canadian football, where the transition to the NFL is always challenging. His college achievements earned him recognition, including being the first player in York University history to be named an OUA All-Star twice in one season, once on offense and once on special teams. That's a testament to his versatility and athletic ability. But why the cut now? Well, NFL teams are always balancing between developing talent and making room for fresh prospects. The Falcons are in a competitive division, the NFC South, which has seen some significant shifts lately. Last season, Atlanta finished second in the division with an 8-9 record, a respectable showing, but also a clear sign that they're still aiming to elevate their game. With the NFL adding more talent and the draft always bringing in new players, roster spots become highly competitive. The Falcons' front office is likely looking for players with higher upside or fitting specific team needs, and unfortunately, Nikola Kalinick didn't quite make the final cut. However, for Falcons fans, this move is more a reflection of the team's ongoing quest for excellence rather than a setback. It's about building a roster that can contend at the highest level. And let's not forget, Kalinick's journey is far from over. Players like him often find opportunities on other teams' practice squads, or even get picked up mid-season if they show enough promise. In fact, his experience with the Rams and Colts, combined with his college background, makes him a valuable asset in terms of depth and potential future contributions. The NFL is a game of patience and perseverance, and sometimes being cut from a roster is just part of the process of growth. Now, looking ahead, what does this mean for the Falcons? Well, they're clearly focused on fine-tuning their roster, especially on tight end. They've been working with a core group of players, trying to find the perfect mix of youth, experience, and athleticism. The offseason moves, including these cutdowns, are all about creating a competitive environment that pushes players to perform better. It's also about identifying the right fit for their offensive schemes, which have been evolving over the last few seasons, especially under the guidance of head coach Arthur Smith. The Falcons' offensive philosophy has been centered around a balanced attack, with a strong emphasis on the run game and utilizing tight ends effectively in the passing game. Players like Kyle Pitts are expected to be focal points, but having reliable backups and depth at the position is crucial for sustained success. Kalinick, with his size and athletic profile, was seen as a potential developmental piece, someone who could grow into a more prominent role down the line. Unfortunately, the competition and roster constraints meant he didn't make the final cut, but that doesn't mean his NFL story is over. Many players have been cut early in their careers only to come back stronger and more prepared. And speaking of the Falcons' current roster, it's important to remember that they finished last season with a tough 8-9 record, just shy of the playoff picture. That leaves a lot of motivation for the team to improve this year. The NFC South has become a fascinating division, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all vying for supremacy. The Falcons are no longer under the radar. They are a team with emerging talent and a clear desire to make a statement. The addition of young players and the development of key veterans has been the cornerstone of their offseason strategy. Fans are excited about the possibilities. The team's offense looks poised to take a step forward, especially with the potential of Kyle Pitts, a player who's already shown flashes of brilliance and why he's considered one of the most talented tight ends in the league. The defense, meanwhile, has been working on tightening up, aiming to become more consistent and aggressive in pressuring opposing quarterbacks. The coaching staff's focus on improving special teams, which was a weak spot last season, is also a sign that they're paying attention to every detail that can help the team win more games. Now, let's talk a bit about the bigger picture. The NFL is an ever-changing landscape, and the Falcons are positioning themselves to be a team on the rise. The roster moves, including the release of players like Nikola Kalinick, are part of a larger puzzle, one that involves scouting, player development, and strategic planning. The front office is clearly looking to build a team that can not only compete in the NFC South, but also make a deep playoff run. With key players gaining experience and young talent maturing, the future looks promising for Atlanta. And what about the fans? Well, they're the backbone of this journey. Their passion fuels the team through thick and thin. Every preseason, every game, and every roster decision is watched closely, because they know that behind every cut or signing, there's a bigger plan at work. The sense of community, the pride in the team's colors, and the hope for a Super Bowl victory keep the fanbase energized and motivated. The Falcons are building something special, and even though players like Nikola Kalinick may have been cut this time, opportunities will come again for talented players to make their mark. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season, what should fans be most excited about? It's the potential growth of the team, the development of young stars, and the strategic moves that the coaching staff continues to make. The NFC South is shaping up to be a fierce division, with each team fighting hard to claim dominance. The Falcons are determined to be at the forefront, and all these roster moves are part of that mission. They're working tirelessly behind the scenes to craft a team that can not only win games, but also bring that elusive Super Bowl trophy back to Atlanta. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this roster update? Are you disappointed to see Nikola Kalinick go, or do you believe the team is making the right moves for a brighter future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons organization. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more insights into everything happening around your favorite team. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting the Atlanta Falcons as they strive for greatness. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!